Good afternoon, and welcome to More Than Meets the Eye. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and for today I have for you Transformers Studio Series 86 Perceptor. Yes, he's the robot with all the $5 words. Indomitably? Indubitably. Is that how you say them? I don't know. I'm not Perceptor. I don't seem to have a degree in everything that exists like Perceptor does, because good grief, this guy. This guy is one cool cat. I mean, as nerds go. He is a very cool nerd, but still a nerd. With all of this crazy, crazy science. He's, in the Autobots way, he is their greatest scientist. You know, scientist-wise, I think it goes Brainstorm, Chrome Dome, Perceptor, Wheeljack, and Skids, I guess, could be considered a scientist. And, I know there's one I'm missing. But, there's some pretty good scientists in the Autobot community. Like, the only scientist that I know of that the Decepticons have is Shockwave, and that's not a scientist anybody wants to know. Alright, let's talk about this red and white beauty of a figure. This thing is pretty cool. I have to say, they did a good job with it. So, we'll discuss its myriad parts and talk on it further. Before we do, if you want to help me raise awareness of the blind, please like and subscribe and share. The sharing goes a long way to getting the word out there so that it can reach the people that need to get reached. And the liking goes a long way to ensuring that the YouTube algorithm treats me better and not like trash. And then commenting below goes a long way to just allowing me to communicate with you, and then we can talk and figure out who we are and stuff like that. And it's always cool to talk to viewers. I enjoy it. I think that's like the neatest thing about YouTube, is the ability to just talk to your viewers. They comment below, and then you can be like, whoa, what's up? So that's pretty cool. They don't have that for television. You can't be watching an episode of Lost and you comment below, hey, what's up with the black smoke ghost? You can't do that. Though I think that would be cool if Netflix included a comment section that you could leave comments. That would have been a neat. Alright, let's get into this guy. He is a cool figure, but he does lack a few things that you would expect he wouldn't. I want to talk about that. First off, I gotta find something to use for visual aid, at least on one sense of the word. We can, no? Oh, well, actually, we can use you. You've got a big enough thing. So we'll discuss siege ports first. So I've got that, Target Master that came with the, that came with one of the Seekers, Hot Shot, or Hot something. Anyway, so siege port wise, there's one siege port in each of this guy's shoulders. Yeah, in each of his shoulders, there's one siege port. And then down here on his sides, we get one siege port on each of the legs. Boom, siege ports, siege port. I know I failed to. Where did it go? Huh? Oh, there it is. Blind people problems. Yep, that's a nice siege port too. He's also got two siege ports on his feet. So that's 8 counting his hands. And then on his back, he's got one siege port. And then on his top, he's got no siege ports. He doesn't have siege ports on his arms. Those are solid things that have no siege port pegs. And he doesn't really have any others. Wait, is that a siege port? Is that a siege port I missed? Maybe. Or is that just really good molding? Oh, that's just molding. Okay, that's not a siege port. That's just some really good molding. So, that's 9 siege ports. Definitely on the low end of the siege ports. He's below average of 11. But that's not too bad. For a Studio Series figure, that's not bad at all. And accessory-wise, he comes with only one. He comes with this little gun of his that you can put in his hand. And I think it's a neat gun because it's got this big magazine on it. Like, of course, Perceptor's got the gun that has extra ammo, and he knows it will have extra ammo. It's Perceptor. He's done the calculations and figured out the percentage chance of him dying without ammunition is higher than the percentage chance of him living with ammunition. So, he brings extra ammunition. Let's talk about articulation. He's got a single elbow, and it only pulls a 90. He has really great movement in his shoulders. He can go up and down and spin 360, but they do not have butterfly. They don't move side to side. And his head does spin. And it's on a ball joint, so it can move back and forth. He can look up. He can look down slightly. With transformation, he can look up even further. I mean, he can look up so far, he goes all the way backwards. And he doesn't really look... He can look down all right, but it's not too good. And then we got his... we've got his little telescope, his microscope. It sits on his shoulder so that he can see things. You would think it's a giant gun, but it's not a gun. And it's literally a telescope. And it's got this cool clickety ratchet joints. And it can actually fold onto his back, which I thought, all right, that's the coolest part of this figure, in my opinion, is the fact that this gun can fold down his back and then fold back up. It's just so cool. Like, I wish they'd do that with more things. Like, that's so neat. I like it. We're just going to put the gun on his back for now. There we go. And it could just chills on his back and it hangs out. It doesn't even really interfere much with his legs, because the way it's set up, it can move when you kick back. So it moves on its own little hinge, and I hope they do that with more Transformers that have something on their shoulder, because that is cool. I like that. Articulation-wise in the hips, well, let's talk about the body still. The body's got a waist rotation of 360 degrees and no ab crunches, sadly. The hips, you can move side to side pretty easy. You can move up and down. Because of the transformation, the hips joints are very, you could do a lot with them. And the knees are double jointed. Yes, indeed. Which kind of surprised me. Either that's a double joint or that's just... No. It's not a double joint. It's just a really good joint. This thing can get the... That's 90. And then that makes it like 115, 120 degrees of movement with these legs. That's pretty good. You can do a lot. So that's nice. I do appreciate that. Got some great movement there. Of course, we got the ankle rockers that we've been getting on the entire time. The feet don't really move except rocking on the side. And then the toes can fold just a bit. So you can like hold on to the side of things with the toes. They fold down slightly. But they fold down because of transformation. Molding wise, this guy is made out of some good solid plastic. It is that good stuff. Oh, and it's everywhere here. There is 2 hollow points in this entire figure, 2 negative zones where there's negative space, where the fists fold into the arms, and back here on his back where his head folds in. Now you can hide the back one by taking his gun. Give me your gun. Thank you. Good grief. Holding on to it tightly. Got that death grip. Okay. And we're going to pick up this thing, move it out of the way. And you can put the gun in the little siege port on his back, and you fold that back down. And then the gun will kind of hide the negative zone, but not very well. But it's a good gun storage. I like that gun storage location. His back is so clean that putting the gun back there just works. It works. Yeah, molding wise, we're getting into that. He's got some great, sculpt work down here. He's got really good sculpt work. He is a clean robot. Every bit of this guy is just so clean and evenly spaced. And, I can't help but think scientist whenever I feel this guy. It's so well designed. It's really cool. And though I do have some negatives about this figure, I don't have any for the robot mode. The robot mode, well, the biggest negative are the negative zones, these 2 negative spaces on the arms. And I wish they would figure out how to fix that. And I understand, you gotta cut corners with costs, and that really sucks. Though, I really wish they'd figure something out with that. Negative zones are really annoying. Then again, you can't always have a little piece of plastic that folds down over it. It doesn't always work that way. You just don't have enough space in transformation. So, this is Perceptor, and he is one awesome Autobot. I suggest that you find him if you want to complete your Studio Series 86 collection. He is a great Perceptor. He is an amazing little action figure. He's solid. He weighs a good chunk. He balances all right, not as well as most because his feet are kind of small, but he balances okay. And you need to get him while the scalpers are not scalping him as much as they could be. I'm okay. I'm seeing this guy for $40 right now, and this was my birthday present I got to myself because Perceptor was just. I love Perceptor. He didn't really care, like in the sense of he didn't hold back his information. When he had something, he told everybody, and no matter how many people told him to shut up and stop talking about it, he would still be like, but this is happening. And I appreciated that about Perceptor. He let people know what was happening, and he didn't let bullying get in the way. He said it as it is. And even when he wasn't sure, he also let you know that, and he'd tell you the exact percentage chance of failure because he was a humble little guy. He didn't just brag about his intelligence and lord it over people's heads. He's a good dude. He's a good dude, and that's cool to have one. But the scalpers aren't cool, and the scalpers are attacking this guy because it is a good Perceptor, and they know people want a good Perceptor. And so the scalpers are hitting the Studio Series 86 line hard, and you got to get this guy soon. And I was just looking over figures today, and I saw the Ghostbusters car. I bought the Ghostbusters car. You've seen it on my on this channel. I got it for $25 on sale. It was originally a $30 figure. I purchased it for $25. Do you know how much it's going for now? It's $120. It's $120, and it came out last year. Jesus, man, that's just whoa. Ease up on the inflation of value there, people. Good grief. It's wrong that things that originally cost $20 a year ago cost over $100 today. That's wrong. That's all it is. It's just messed up. I understand people have mouths to feed and they got houses to pay for and stuff like that. You got the mortgage. And I get the mortgage argument. But, draw a line and don't be so greedy. And that's what I'm seeing these days with these scalpers. They're just greedy. And I'm okay with getting a little, spending a little extra on something. Like this guy, I would have been cool spending $30 to $35 for him because he is a good figure. And I get it. You purchased him at the store. I probably would have never been to that store. And then you put him on the line for $35. I'll buy him from you because I couldn't find him in the wild. And I'll gladly pay the $15 extra. But selling him for $44 was just asinine. It was stupid. It's greedy. And selling the Ghostbusters car for $130 after a year has gone by, that's also greedy. And people need to check themselves when it comes to how much they're charging for this stuff. They really need to. And that's the upsetting thing. That's what upsets me about scalpers, is that they don't realize what they're doing, and they're upsetting a delicate balance, and it's going to come all crashing down if these scalpers don't stop scalping us. They, like I said, I don't mind if they charge a little extra, but $120 for $120 to $130 for something that was $30 when it came out in the store a year ago, I could get that for something that came out in the 90s. But a year ago? Seriously? Anyway, that's all I have to say.